Okay guys, good evening and welcome to the Eldar Sim Racing. This is round number 4 of the Subaru WRX Championship, brought to you by Chell, Lawman, Motorsport. And yes, it is the regular host as per usual on a Friday night. Who else would it be? Of course it's the one and only Hoppers. How are we doing? Yes, it is Friday. It is a new week. Well, I should say a new week of racing. I was going to make sure I'm heard on stream. Yes I am. But yeah, it's a new week of racing. We weren't racing last week, obviously due to being Easter bank holiday weekend, and it's given the guys a bit of a break from racing. But obviously we're here tonight at Monza for the 4th round, so there's 3 rounds left and 9 races to go in this thrilling encounter in the championship. And I'll tell you what, we are looking forward to seeing exactly what's going to happen for tonight, and I'm personally looking forward to seeing how close it's going to be, because at obviously Sardegna 2 weeks prior we had 3-time winner Mark Littlejohn aka Ickle Pants take out all 3 races at Sardegna last time out, and it seems to be a lot of interest to see exactly what's going to happen for tonight, because you know the championship's going to be getting towards the nitty-gritty end of the season now. It's going to be as you like. It's going to be probably closer. The racing's going to be a bit bunched up. You know, we'll go through the points or go and see who's in top 3 of the championship in a moment or two. But you know, with three rounds left and 9 races to go, it could be, you know, a number of factors within what's going to happen for the remainder of the season. I'm just sharing this round so then the guys can see the stream, etc., and you know, such forth. But without further ado, we'll get into the points in a moment. But it's going to be great to see exactly what's going to happen for tonight here at Monza. The sun is out. It is basically beating down on track, so the track is going to be quite warm by looks of it. And you know, anything can happen, but who knows? You know, it could be very close to see what's going to happen. So we'll go and look at the points then, and we'll go through a bit of talking points from Sardegna as such, but looking at exactly what is happening in the top 3 in the championship. Obviously Mark Littlejohn, he is currently sat in pit lane at the moment. He is leading the championship. He's had obviously 4 race wins. No, he's not. Let me recount that. 1, 2, 3, 5 race wins should have put saying. It's putting him on 172 points with Darren Baldwin aka Idle 4 Gaming on 144. He's 28 points behind Mark at the moment. You know, Darren's been thereabouts. He's been trying to push on quite a bit. He's been on the podium quite a few times now in the season, but he got race 1 win Alsace, but he's obviously not been on top of the podium since then. You've got Dean Atkinson, winner of the VW Cup as of Friday night, the reigning Friday night tier 2 champion in the place. He's trying to go back to back. He's actually on 118. He's 54 points behind at the moment, which seems to be maybe a bit of a weird one for that. I hope you guys can hear me. Just give me 1 sec. We do have a comment on the stream so I can see exactly what's going to happen. But yeah, exactly, mate. I'm not saying exactly for you coming last though, Darren, but you know, I don't think you'll come last, mate. I think you'll do okay around here. But yes, obviously we're sponsored by Chell, Lawman, Motorsport, and we wish Chell all the best. She's had a diagnosis of breast cancer, and some of the guys have got the breast cancer ribbon on their car as of support. So hopefully she gets well soon, and hopefully, you know, she gets the all clear and she fights cancer and she beats it. So you know, our thoughts are with you if you are watching the stream show. So you know, everyone at Eldar Sim sends their well wishes, and of course the founder of Eldar Sim Racing aka Nick Sargent aka The Hammer Games, he's got double ear infection, so he's not going to be racing tonight. He's going to be probably, when he's better, he'll be watching the stream and probably thinking, I wish I was there beating the living daylights out of Darren, trying to stop Darren from winning. But you never know. But hopefully Chell and Nick get well soon, and you know, it's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen, because you know, Monza is a, I'm not going to say it's a favourite track of mine. It's kind of a track where, you know, it's obviously host to the Italian Grand Prix, but you know, it's a lot of interest to see exactly what's going on. But you know, without further ado, get back into the point, because you know, I'm seeing exactly what's going to happen. But as I say, the top three in the championship, you know, they've been fighting for quite consistent amount of times. You know, it's going to be great to see. But looking exactly, Jamie Hillman's an outside chance. He is currently setting a time in practice with 1:57.157. So he's currently trying to be there. He's the outside chance of getting there. He's on 108 points. He's 64 points behind though. That's the problem. But with around, obviously, you know, 3 rounds left and 9 races to go, he could potentially, if he gets a race win, 3 race wins tonight, and then potentially you know, pole position, fastest lap, if he gets fastest lap in potentially all 3 races and then gets pole position, he can potentially get into the championship lead. You know, that's how crazy it is. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen for that. But obviously you've got Nigel Hugo, or the Ranger, in 5th place. He's actually on 89 points, so he's 83 points behind. That could be a massive detrimental effect. You know, he could potentially win all 3 races tonight, and then win race 1, say for example at Dragon Trail Gardens as of next week. So you know, it's a bit of a topsy-turvy championship at the moment, just to try and rackle the numbers and rack my brain a bit. But it's a bit very interesting. We've also got father and son, Finley Osler and of course his dad Andrew. They are both 6th and 7th in the championship. Finley's on 85, whereas his dad Andrew is on 72, whereas Andrew's 100 points behind, so he's got to literally push on to get thereabouts to try and get into the top 6 of the championship. He's currently 7th. Then you got obviously Chris Rigby on, what is he on at the moment? On 60 points, so he's 112 behind, which seems to be a lot of interest to see what he's going to do. He's not been having the best of luck in the Yazoo milkshake machine, the Team Hard Yazoo livery. You know, he's been thereabouts. He's been on, I think he's been on the podium once, maybe, or maybe thereabouts. It all depends on certain bits and pieces, I think. But it's going to be very interesting to see how well he does. Then you got Noah Wright. Noah has missed potentially 3 rounds of the championship. Well, 2 rounds of the championship, so to say. But it could be very interesting to see what he's going to do. He's obviously going to be back tonight. He wasn't racing at Suzuka, nor was he racing at Sardegna. So, you know, it's going to be very interesting to see what he's going to do. Obviously, Nick missed Alsace due to work. So, Nick's in 10th place at the moment on 54. Noah's actually on 55. So, they've not got a really good chance to get up, to get the championship sewn up, basically. Then you got Brian Moncani. Brian missed Sardegna. Yeah, he missed Sardegna. He was there for Suzuka as well as Alsace, but he's on 49. Then you have Fred Coleman. Fred Coleman's missing tonight. He missed Suzuka, and he's also missing tonight. He's on 40 points at the moment. Then you have Ethan Simmons. Unfortunately, Ethan Simmons will no longer be taking part in the championship. I'm not going to go into great massive details, but there was a bit of an argument between another driver. I'm not going to mention exactly what had gone on, but unfortunately, due to the argumentative and of course the behaviour that was thrown in with the arguments, he is got a championship ban, so he's no longer going to be part of the championship for this season. which is a big shame really, because he seemed to be a bit of a rough and tumble. Joined in at Alsace, and then it just obviously spiralled out of control at Sarkdegner. There was a lot of beef between himself and another driver, and unfortunately he's ended up with a championship ban. So less said about that. We're just going on about obviously tonight here at Monza. Then you got Vlad Bogdanovic. He is currently on 34 points. He's not been here much. He was here at Alsace. He probably was at Alsace, and then he hasn't been back since. Then you got Neil Smale. Neil Smale missed Sarkdegner due to personal reasons. He's on 21 points, so he's gonna have to try and pick up the pace a bit. I think he's struggling slightly, trying to get the grips of the car. I think he'll do okay. I said to him before he'll be fine. Just, you know, hopefully just relax, and then we'll see how well he does. Ishmael Nemri, he's not been seen since Suzuka, which is a bit of a not a worry, but you know, he's 16 points in championship, in 16th place. You know, he's thereabouts, but it seems to be a lot of interest to see exactly what's going to happen if Ishmael does come back tonight. But you know, it's going to be very quick. We've got, I'm just looking at how many drivers. We've got about 9 drivers at the moment. Then we've got Andy White. Andy White only took part in race 1 at Suzuka. I believe he's had a bit of issues with his steering wheel, which has hampered him quite a bit, so he's not been able to race for some time, so he's on 11 points. Then you have Malcolm Argyle, potentially with Malk's only raced at Suzuka, and then obviously I'll say Sarkdegner and across tonight. I don't think he's making it tonight either. He has had a lot on, which fair enough, you know, we do understand that with racing, but hopefully we'll see him before the end of the season. Then we have obviously Danny Clark on potentially on 9 points. He made his debut at Alsace, but he's not come back since. But what's going to happen tonight, guys, here at Monza? I'm personally looking forward to seeing what's going to happen at Monza. It's been a bit of a while since since a lot of things has it's been a week since we've last raced, or 2 weeks prior, when we last raced at Sarkdegner. So it's back to back at in Italy, but we'll see what's going to happen. Next week we're on Dragon Trails Gardens, the reverse layout, which is a fantastic circuit, and I'm personally looking forward to that. It is one of my favourites. It is one of my obviously it's a made up track, but it is one of the best. So hopefully, you know, we'll get quite a lot of argy-bargy, maybe some very interesting overtakes. We'll probably get a lot of overtakes here at obviously Monza tonight. It is tight, it is twisty, you know, to line up going into obviously Rettifilo, obviously into Curva Grande, obviously into the Rodriguez chicane, into the Lesmos, and of course going into Ascari, and then of course Parabolica. Seems to be a lot of interest to see exactly what's going to go on, but we're just checking how many people are here at the moment, with the Rooster getting up close and personal to his son, just trying to get the toe. It could be very interesting going into, obviously, like I say, the Rettifilo chicane. It could be almost there, but it looks like blue flag option. Not too sure why that is in practice. Doesn't need to be, because, you know, obviously, yeah, okay, if they go faster, but could be very close to see what happens. We do have a 10-minute qualifying session at 8 o'clock, so it's going to be very close as you like, but I think the Rooster's trying to get a toe off his son, just say, right, come on mate, I want to go faster, but almost nose to tail. Not going to laugh if they take each other off at Lesmo 1, but you never know with all that, but we'll soon find out what's going to happen. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But you know, it seems that Darren's gone for the pink cancer car, rightly so. But we'll see how well he does tonight. He says to me that he's going to come last, but I doubt it. Highly doubt it indeed. But you never know. But Darren's been on the podium. He's been fighting. He's trying to fight for another race win. You know, you should have seen him at obviously Sarkdegner. 2 weeks prior, he was literally on the money, but the Rooster's got a 1/10 penalty there, which he's not going to do his lap time any credentials this time round. But it does seem like Jamie's setting the pace then in testing. It just seems that I think Mark Littlejohn isn't getting near enough to Jamie's time at the moment. He's around 0.437 of a second onto Jamie's time. He's done 157.289, so you know, never it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But you know, it's very interesting. The looks like track limits are getting a bit pinged at the moment because they're obviously cutting the corners into going out of the Rodriguez chicane as well as Lesmo and Lesmo 2. But we'll soon find out. But obviously going down to like Ascari and certain bits and pieces, you know, it could be very interesting. But obviously, you know, like I say, Monza it can be very tricky, but you know, there's a lot of interest to see what's going to happen. Obviously, hop, skip and jump them curbs too much, it could be literally night and day for track, whether you get pinged for track limits or whether you don't. But we could soon find out exactly what's going to happen, as Finley's got a 1.1 second penalty there. So that could be very close to see what's going to happen. We've got obviously, you know, Dean Atkinson just let's go and see what he can do. He's going to be third in the championship. Is he going to try and make it back-to-back championships? Is he going to try and push on? It seemed a bit of a weird qualifying format in that race at Sardegna for race number 1. And just don't know whether he had a bit of issues or whether it's just trying to push on quite a bit. But we'll soon find out exactly what's going to happen for that. But who knows exactly how many things. But if you are watching the stream, guys, welcome in. Thank you for spending your Friday evening watching the stream. If you are watching the stream, please, can we have a massive 10 likes tonight as well? Just because it helps me out commentating, it helps these guys out race week in, week out. And you know, it will be absolutely fantastic if you can. But you know, getting into as I say, towards the nitty-gritty end of the season now, where we do have obviously 3 rounds left and 9 races to go. It's quite interesting because if you think about it, people are probably thinking, well, what's the tyres? Why is someone racing super softs? And why are some on soft tyres? Well, it is the rules. They are allowed to use either super softs or softs for race 1 as well as qualifying, but then they have to change tyres for race number 2. So if you're on the super softs for race 1, you have to go on the softs for that. But then obviously for race number 3, which is a longer race, which is a longer race, they have to change tyres. I'm not too sure whether it's like changing from softs to super softs. I can't remember top of my head, but it most likely will be. But we'll soon find out exactly how it's going to pan out tonight, because race 1 and 2 this evening are 7 laps, so it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. And I'm just going to have a look at what race number 3 is. 13 laps, so it's going to be a bit longer. It's going to be very close then, but you never know then, because if you're looking exactly what's going to happen with the likes of obviously certain cars, just looking at the Osler father and son clan, they're going to literally just go nose to tail down the back straight out of Ascari towards Parabolica. They're going to see exactly what's going to happen here, but who knows, because, you know, looking exactly with the times in practice at the moment, with obviously Jamie going a 157.157, to me that seems the Red Bull car seems to be thereabouts. You know, it's all down to obviously how the drivers, obviously, you know, there's no tuning allowed, there's obviously balance of performance, but to see exactly what's going to happen for that, you know, it's very close to see exactly what's going to happen, because Darren's obviously done a 157.566. His fastest was a 157.512, so you know he's going to be thereabouts. He's currently going to try and go through the Rodriguez chicane, clips the curb nicely to avoid getting stung by track limits. But he goes into Lesmo, and then obviously into Lesmo 2. But it could be very close then. I think we're just looking at how many drivers we've got. Brian Moncani's in, so it's potentially 10 drivers at the moment then. So we'll go on board with Mark Littlejohn, providing he doesn't abandon his lap. So into the Rodriguez chicane to start the climb towards, obviously, no, it's the Rettifilio chicane. Silly me, it was Rettifilio, then Curve Grande. Obviously, he's now coming up to the Rodriguez chicane. It's going to be very interesting to see exactly how well he does. He's purple in this sector, so he's clipping the curbs nicely there. Bit of a understeer on the way out, but then obviously into Lesmo 1, which will be very interesting to see what he's going to do here. But he's got to get the line just perfectly. Just goes a bit over the curb there slightly into Lesmo 2, clipping that curb on Apex and as well on the way out to Lesmo 2. Then obviously down the back straight up towards Variante Ascari, and this is where, you know, we may see a couple of cars trying to go for quite equal braking rights for moves, maybe side by side into Ascari. He goes then, breaks down to third, potentially hearing the squeals, and ties onto fourth on the way out of Ascari, and obviously now down the back straight to go towards the curve, the Parabolica curve. Could be very interesting to see exactly what his lap time is going to be this time round, because he is currently obviously trying to push on to try and match Jamie's time. So into Parabolica he goes, fires it in, literally hearing them tyres squeal. It seems a lot of tyres are going to be obviously wearing and tearing thereabouts tonight, but he's about to cross the line then, and he's about to do a it's a 157.110. It just obviously seems the lap time didn't update. It just seemed a bit of a weird one there, but he's currently fastest then in free practice. But you know, it's going to be very interesting to see what he's going to do in the race, because he's leading the championship, so he's going to be obviously pressurised, but hopefully not too pressurised to make any mistakes. But see what happens thereabouts. But you know, who knows exactly what's going to happen for these guys. It could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen, but could be very close indeed. But just looking exactly what is going to happen for obviously a lot of interest. But if you are watching the stream, guys, let us know who you are supporting, who you think is going to take out the race wins tonight, or who you think is potentially going to get onto the podium. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. It's going to be interesting to see what is definitely going to happen. You know, don't get me wrong, I think, you know, looking at exactly what's going to happen at the moment, I think the likes of Darren and of course excuse me, Mark Littlejohn are going to probably take out the top two in the maybe the first two races. It could be very interesting. It could go either way though, because, you know, with the Ranger, he's only not 0.1 of a second up on his time there into it's purple in that sector. So it looks like the cars are doing like 157s at the moment, and so it seems to be quite quick as we like. But you know, just getting a bit of a feel for what the cars are going to be. But you know, maybe if we get a chance, we'll probably get some stats for you, and we'll try and see exactly what's going to happen. But you know, personally, I look forward to Friday night. Friday night is a great night for commentary. It's becoming a bit of a skill and a bit of an art now for myself. You know, it's obviously killing a bit of time before we start the proper Friday night series, where we have tier 1 and tier 2. But it's been a quite little interesting championship. Of the car was the Subaru WRX was funnily enough using the World Supercar Touring Car Championship. If you remember from the second tier on Friday nights, you may have seen the RAC and of course the Red Bull liveried Subaru WRX. You know, it's very interesting because the car isn't how can I put it, it's not the best because it's four-wheel drive basically, and you know, but now it seems to be handling a bit more better. And I think when the Rooster used it in I think he used it in season 1 of was it season 1 or season 2 of WSTC, he didn't seem to gel with it, and it seemed to hamper him quite a bit. He was thereabouts, and I think he was trying to push on, but you know, I think he didn't really enjoy it as much. But hopefully he'll enjoy it if he gets a race win tonight. But you never know. But we'll see how well it goes for this evening. But looking at the time, then we've got around most likely up until 8 o'clock till people get ready for qualifying. Good evening, Mr. Ishmael. Why aren't you racing, mate? Why aren't you racing, my friend? You know, you are missed. You are missed racing, mate. You really are. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen for tonight. Personally, I'm looking forward to, you know, having hopefully a bit of banter and a bit of a laugh along the way. You know, I do, you know, I don't be nasty to any of the racers. I give racers full of praise. You know, guys like Neil Smale, he does struggle now and again when he's obviously leading the race, but hopefully he gets better and better. You know, he's a very established racer. He did get second in WSTC at the opening round at Autopolis in race number 2 back in the day when he raced the Renault Megane V6. You know, he was obviously Cloud 9. It was his best career results to date, but seems to be slowly adapting back into the Subaru for tonight. He missed, obviously, like I say, Sargdegner due to personal reasons, so it's obviously taking him a bit of time to get back into the swing of the Subaru for the week. But it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen, but who knows. But just looking exactly with certain times in practice, then seems that Finley's done a 2:01. His fastest time was actually a 1:59.6 according to that. He's done about 18 laps of testing at the moment, so that's pretty decent. So it's going to be very close then. But who knows? But Dean Atkinson, 1:58.322. Currently 4th fastest. I think he's around 0.871 of a second from the top 3 at the moment. But just remember, it is free practice. So, you know, who knows exactly what's going to happen between now and qualifying. You know, qualifying is going to be all important. It is 10 minutes. It could be very close. If you're watching the stream and you have not subscribed to Eldar Racing, please can you do that as well. It will help, as I say, as well as liking the stream, as well as subscribing for all the action, because you don't want to miss it. You will be potentially helping me out commentate. You'll be helping these guys get noticed on stream, as well as getting there. But if you want to race as well, do head over, I believe not the website, but the Facebook page. Yes, the Facebook page is there. If you go onto the Facebook page, click the link in the description and send a request if you want to race. Do say, I'd like that if you'd say that the legendary commentator Hoppers had sent you over. If you're watching the stream and you're not a member of Eldar Sim, but you want to be and you want to race, then do mention me, and you know, it'd be great if you did. but who knows exactly what's going to happen tonight. I'm, as I say, personally always look forward to Fridays, especially when it's close racing, as we get in between the two father and son crew, between Finley and his dad Andrew at the moment. Seems like they're going to go nose to tail, but soon seeing what happens. Noah is currently, trying to see where Noah is. He was going out of pit lane. Yes, he's in the aqua and pink rimmed, and of course the cancer ribbon livery. He hasn't got the number board on, but don't know whether that'll go against him. But Brian Moncarney then, in his famous Pescarolo racing colours, pretty decent is Brian Moncarney's liveries, I must admit. He's done a few for me personally, which I can't thank him enough, but he's back tonight. He obviously had missed last week due to work commitments, but he is back for another crack. So the Belgian, who was runner-up in WSTC, driving the Nissan GTR, funny enough, back in a few seasons ago now, made it up to the top tier of Friday night into the Aston Martins when they were running last season, and you know, he seems to be thereabouts. He's now going to be obviously rekindling his battles with, of course, Noah, which Noah won the title sensationally won the title at Bathurst in the WSTC, driving the Milky Way sponsored Hyundai Genesis, which Noah's been thereabouts. He's won championships in the past for Eldar Sim. I think his first championship was actually what he actually won. I don't know whether it's a 100% a proper championship, but the eliminator that Malcolm Argyle does for these guys on an off season, using the TT specification Subaru WRX. Noah won the whole eliminator, and you know, he took people by surprise, and then obviously jumped into I can't remember what category he jumped into, but he then started winning championships, and we thought, you know, this new kid on the block, he's been very quick. He is a very established racer. He's very likeable for the racing as well, so it's going to be very close to see what he's going to do after missing last week. But I think we've only got there, I think it's going to be 10 drivers tonight. I'll just double check. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 11 drivers at least, because Darren's just sitting out for a moment or two. So I'll just check if I've got any messages, but could be very interesting to see what's going to happen. Don't think we've got any more races at the moment jumping in, but just going to obviously see what's going to go on. But you know, we've got around 6 minutes till qualifying starts at 8 o'clock, and by looking at the cars at the moment, especially the ones that are going nose to tail towards obviously Rettifilio going down the front straight, get the toe off a driver like that is very gutsy stuff. I could not do that myself. I'd be very scared. But you know, it's going to be great to see exactly what people are going to do. I think we are potentially going to be maybe 11 drivers tonight. It's going to be thereabouts, but who knows what's going to happen. I think, you know, looking exactly what's happening at the moment, Jamie's got a penalty. He's obviously somehow pinging track limits. I don't know how he's getting penalties though, because it's a bit of a very weird one. But Mark Littlejohn then, currently with that 157.110, he's going to be thereabouts. He's going to try and push that Adrian Flux inspired Ash Sutton livery from 2000, I think it was 2017 BTCC livery, I think. But it's going to be very close to see what he's going to do. But we've got 5 minutes then till the very all-important qualifying, which is going to last for 10 minutes, and then we've got 2 7-lap races, and obviously race 3 is an all-important 13 laps. Race 2 and 3 though are, however, reversed grids. They will not be as they finish race 1. So if say for example Jamie finishes race 1 in first, he will be at the back for race 2. He won't be starting in pole position for race 2. He will be at the back. But then if he finishes first in qualifying for race 1, he will be on pole position. It's a bit confusing, yes, I know, but it's going to be great to see exactly what's going to happen. Brian Moncani, the Belgian, let's see what he's going to do, you know. Just looking at his timings, he's a bit down on time at the moment, but it could be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. So around about 4 minutes to go till the all-important 10-minute qualifying sessions. Brian gets a bit loose out of Motorsport there, but you know, it's going to be great. I can't personally wait to see exactly what's going to happen, but looking at Dean Atkinson, then what's he going to do? Is he going to try and go back to back this season and try and push on? But you know, if you just joined the stream, guys, welcome in. And yeah, it's going to be fantastic to see how quick and how exciting tonight's going to go. A bit about me though, I used to race, okay, but I've started doing commentary because I'm not going to say my racecraft is rubbish, but I prefer to do commentary because I can sit back, excuse me, relax, and you know, give you guys all the action. But if I was on the grid now, I'd be literally scared for my life. Good evening, Kim. How are you? Slightly drowsy, Nick. Oh, bless him. I hope he's okay. You know, oh, I do feel really sorry for him. I really do. It's ear infection. It's just the worst. But you know, who knows exactly what's going to happen? But it's looking likely then that it's going to be very close. Obviously, you know, Darren's just reminding the guys that pit lane exit line, if you cross it, I know it doesn't give you a penalty, but the stewards will ping you for crossing the line too soon. And obviously going into Retifilio, just beware, because it is obviously a quick, it seems like it's a quick run down to the Retifilio chicane, but who knows exactly what's going to happen. But you never know. But we'll soon find out. But he's not in the best. Nah, I know it'll be okay, but yeah, he's not nice at all. But get ready then for qualifying. I'll try not to shout down the headset to him, Kim, you know. But being a commentator, can't promise much. But yeah, you know, it's gonna be fine. I'm looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen tonight, you know. But as I was saying, if I was on the grid now, I probably wouldn't be enjoying it. I'd be probably scared for my life. But we'll see what happens, because we are a minute away then. So let's see what's going to happen for qualifying and who's going to get pole position for the first race. I'm just going to put my controller on charge, because then if it does decide to obviously disconnect, then it won't. So let's see what's going to happen then for qualifying. So it's going to last for 10 minutes. It's going to be very close. Let's see what's going to happen. I think Darren's going to let everyone go, just so then if any issues he can actually let everyone go. But you can just see exactly what you're not meant to do. There's a few cars cross the line going out of pit lane. You're not meant to technically do that, as Noah and the Rooster almost have a bit of a coming together, but they're on their out lap, so it's going to be very close then. Let's see if everyone's out of pit lane. I think Darren is the last one to leave. Yes, he is, but he will soon pick up speed. But looking at Mark Littlejohn at the moment then, what's he going to do? Don't worry about the timing screen on the left hand side. It's, or should I say, the leaderboard. It's just updating, obviously just trying to make sure it's in order of people that have left pit lane. So it's going to be very interesting with around 9 minutes to go then. So they will probably get, I'm probably going to say about 2 or 3 maybe flying laps, depending if anyone goes into pit lane, obviously change tyres, but be very close to see exactly what's going to happen then. So obviously Jamie's going to be looking for a pole position. I think he's been thereabouts. I think he's tried to push on quite a bit with of course Dean Atkinson. Let's see what Dean's going to do in the quick fit livery, and then obviously Noah's behind him at the moment. So Noah in the pale blue car with the pink alloys, and of course the cancer logo on the side and bonnet, and of course the roof. I nearly couldn't get my words out there, but we'll see how well he does. I'm just seeing how quick people are going, but you know, the Rooster's also there. You've got Finley's son behind him at the moment with the Ranger currently quick after blocks going into Parabolica, trying to literally catch up as Jamie's the one to first to blink to go into pit lane and change tyres. Same with, I think there's quite a lot of people going into pit lane, so it could be very interesting. And I think the likes of Mark Littlejohn and Brian Moncani are going to be the first 2 that are literally, and of course Chris Rigby, are going to be the first 3 to go and set a lap time. But it's very interesting to see why some are changing tyres in this early stage of qualifying, maybe to get the race 1 tyres on, so then they don't have to worry about swapping for thereabouts. I'm not too sure whether there's a slight advantage between the super softs and of course the softs, but Neil Smale currently out there trying to obviously get thereabouts with, I think that was the Rooster, yes it was, with a penalty. Got to be very careful that the penalties. Oh, there's Noah. Oh, what did he do there? Did he clip the handbrake or did he clip the dirt? It seemed a bit of a weird one there. Is that damaged his car there? Yes it has. It's damaged his car, and I think it hampered some of the people behind him as well. Tried to abandon the... He's going to have to try and abandon it this time around, but he's on another outlap, so you know it could be very interesting. Darren's on another outlap. 6.5 minutes to go then as Mark Littlejohn follows his way out of Ascari. It seems the Adrian Flux machine is going to try and set pole position. It could be very close. We'll see exactly whether the pole position will go to him, or whether Brian Moncani, as Brian actually runs a bit wide out of Ascari. But we'll soon find out. We'll see what Mark's going to do then, just to get thereabouts. But it's going to be very close then. 6 minutes remaining in this all-important qualifying session. Mark goes at 157.157. It's basically near enough his lap time, or Jamie's lap time in testing. So it's quite close to see exactly what's going to happen. Brian Moncani, he's currently 2 minutes 5 at the moment, so 2 minute point 5 at the minute. Got to be thereabouts, but Chris Rigby goes at 157.932, so that's a bit interesting to see how well that's going to go. Jamie's on the flyer now, but Neil Smale up into 4th then, 2 minute point 25. It's going to be very close then. So the guys that were in pit lane at the start of the first flying laps are now going to be there. So it's Mark from, of course, Chris at the moment, followed by Brian, and of course Neil. But the others are going to have to push on then to try and get thereabouts. Now it's going to be a very quick 5-minute succession now to try and get these lap times in, to see who's going to get thereabouts. It could be anyone's guess, but it looks like the Ranger, if he, I don't know whether he pitted or he stayed out, but he's done a 1:59.4. I think that was a bit of an outlap though, to be honest with you. It seems to be like the ones that are thereabouts. Let's see what's happening for Neil. He's going through Lesmo 2 in a second. He's got the Ranger behind him at the moment, but 4 minutes and 27 seconds left, then may get another crack at another lap. But we'll see what Brian's going to do going out of the score. He's got to be very careful not to clip the curb as much. It's got Chris Rigby just in second at the moment. He's going to push on. And of course Mark's coming through Parabolica now. He's on the money there. He's about to cross the line. He goes to 1:57.086, so he's 0.7 something of a second ahead of Chris Rigby at the moment, so that's going to be very interesting with 4 minutes to go then. It seems a lot of nose to tail going back down the back straight, but Brian Moncani 2:01 now, so he's smashed it slightly, but Jamie goes up to third then with 1:57.942 at the moment, so it's going to be very interesting for the Red Bull machine. 3.5 minutes to go then. It could be anyone's guess, as the time screen tends to do a lot of updating as everyone goes a bit faster. Dean Atkinson goes second with a 1:57.4. De Rooster was a 1:57.8. That's put him up to third, so that's a good lap time for Andrew Rosler there. He's got his son ahead of him at the moment, so he's going to have to get a tow, but who knows exactly what's going to happen with Noah in, of course, 4th place at the moment with a 1:57.9, 1:57.921. So that could be very interesting for Noah. He's on the second row of the grid at the moment. Chris Rigby's dropped down to, of course, 5th place at the moment. Jamie 6th then at the moment as it stands with 2 minutes and 41 seconds left. Finley 7th at the moment. Then you got the Ranger trying to push on. He's done a 1:58.8. He's going to have to try and push on. He's 8th fastest. Neil Smell 9th at the moment with a 1:59.9. With then Brian Moncani with a 2:01 at the moment. 2:01. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a hard task for the Belgian unless he can get the power down very quickly. And then of course Darren with a 2:07.4. He's having a bit of a mare at the moment in 11th place at the moment. He did say that, you know, he was going to come last, but I don't think he meant it literally, as Mark Littlejohn flashes that lap time with a 1:56.894 with around just under 2 minutes to go now. It could be all or nothing. He's got another lap. Dean Atkinson on his way towards Parabolica. He's got Noah ahead of him, but a bit of traffic. It's a hamper, but it looks like Jamie though goes top of the tree with 1:56.836. So that's going to be very interesting. Jamie's obviously working his way into pole position there. It's going to be very close to see exactly how close it's going to go. But Noah goes third with that. Just trying to see where he's 1:57.187. That's a very good lap time. Is he going to try and get pole position from Jamie or, of course, Mark at the moment with 1 minute and 10 seconds to go? Did see that Brian Moncani set 1:59.5, but Darren, however, it was a 1:57.291, so that's put him up to 4th. He's not stone dead last now, so he's obviously pushing his way through Vettilio, just trying to push on for quite some time. Let's see exactly. Neil Smell down in 11th. He's not going to enjoy that, but I think he's just getting back into the groove after having a week away. He's kind of gone off at the Rodriguez chicane there, as Noah's done exactly the same. It seems the tyres are literally having a bit of night and day issues at the moment, but Jamie at the moment provisional pole position. Is he going to string it together and just keep it together? He was down on that sector. He's going out of Ascari now. Could be a very interesting pole position for Jamie. It is exactly what I mean. If you get pole position and you get consistent, you know, he could be leading the championship at the end of the night if he wins all 3 races. You never know though. It happened at Sockdegner 2 weeks ago, but you never know. Jamie could be on a mission. So qualifying now has finished. He's about to cross the line. He still stays pole position for the time being, but Mark's on a fly. I don't know whether that's an out lap. It may be, but he's second at the moment then. So he's provisional second at the moment. So who knows, with the Ranger with a 1:57.866. That's put him in 7th at the moment. There's a few cars about to cross the line though. So I'd like to know. I think Noah's been into pits, so he's not going to be able to stay or improve. He may stay third, but we'll soon find out. But Darren pipped him to third with 156.9. That's a very good lap time for the pink machine at the moment, so it could be very close then. What's Mark going to do? Because Mark's got clear traffic ahead of him. There's no cars ahead of him, should I say, but he's got clear air. Could be very careful, but he's down on that sector. Going into a Ascari. Could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen, but just looking exactly what Mark's going to do then. There was quite a few tense moments then, because Darren's now up to third, so that's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen as Mark fires his way into the Parabolica to try and complete this time. Is he going to get onto the top step and take pole position? Let's have a look. He could do, you never know. He does. He goes to 156.793, so he's pipped Jamie to pole position. So it's very interesting to see exactly how close that was, but Jamie starts second. That's probably a decent qualifying for the Red Bull car for tonight, for the first race here at Monza. But I'll tell you what is going to happen for the likes of Mark Littlejohn then. He left it late, but to get that pole position, and he had clear air to do it as well. So that seems to be a lot of interest to see what he's going to do then, because the Adrian Flux machine on pole position yet again for, I've lost count how many times this season now. But it'll be very close. Is he going to do all three races, or is he going to try and push on and get away and get a good start? So qualifying now has finished. We're just waiting for the timer to run out. I think Chris Rigby decided to abandon the lap. He's currently sat in pit lane at the moment, so it's currently 8th fastest then. So, you know, looking at the top three, seems it was like a very close, equally matched times in qualifying. Only Dean Atkinson and the Rooster had penalties in qualifying. But we are getting ready for the first of 7 lap races here at Monza for Chell, Lawman, Motorsport, Subaru WRX Championship, and it is round number 4 of the championship. And I'll tell you what, it is going to be very close with Mark and Jamie on the front row, Darren in second with Noah alongside him, and of course Dean Atkinson and the Rooster alongside each other there. But it is going to be very close then. It is going to be a quick 7-lap encounter. It might be over before we know it, but the red light on starting gantry will come on in a moment or two, like it does now, and it flicks to green very quickly. But it looks like the likes of Jamie and of course Mark Littlejohn jumped the start slightly, so that's allowed Darren and of course Noah to literally get up into first and second. But going into the Retifilio as Dean Atkinson goes on that, he's a bit late on the brakes there, got to be very careful on the rejoin, almost taking out the Ranger there, but that's allowed the Rooster up into fourth then. So and Darren and Noah lead the race then, just about, because I think Jamie and of course Mark Littlejohn, I think Mark's actually dropped down to 9th place after that jump start there. I think they're a bit eager to get the jump, and it looks like he's going to have to push on from 9th place now to get back into the lead of the race, with Brian Moncani and of course Neil Smell at the tail of the field. Going into the Rodriguez chicane then with Chris Rigby and of course Finley and of course Mark Littlejohn. Mark Littlejohn's getting a bit pushed onto the grass there. Into Lesmo 1 we go then, but he gets into of course 7th. Bit of argy-bargy going out of Lesmo 1, but it seems a lot is going to happen between now and then. But the change for the race lead then is between Noah and of course Darren, but Noah's got that 5/10 penalty. He's going to have to get rid of that very quickly. He's actually getting rid of it now, but that's going to cost him a bit of ground then from Darren, because Darren now leads the race then, with of course Noah in second, Jamie third, the Rooster fourth at the moment, Dean Atkinson fifth, Ranger sixth with Mark in of course 7th, Finley 8th with of course Chris Rigby and Brian Moncani and of course Neil Smell. Catching up to this group of cars, he's going to be thereabouts. It could be very quick. We'll see exactly what's going to happen, because there is a battle between 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. No, 3rd, 4th and 5th, I beg your pardon, between Jamie the Rooster and of course Dean Atkinson. Could be very interesting between these three. I think the Ranger's also trying to catch up, so could be a 4-car battle, potentially a battle for the race lead, as well as Noah tries to get alongside Darren into the Rettifilio, as he does. Nicely done. But Darren's going to fight back and try to get past him, as Jamie holds on for dear life from, of course, the Rooster. The Rooster's got Dean Atkinson alongside him at the moment, and of course also the Ranger trying to latch up to the back of these two at the moment. The Ranger gives Dean Atkinson a bit of a kiss towards Curve Grande. The Ranger also gets to 2 places in 1. I think he's almost there. Breaking very deep into the Rodriguez chicane, but the Rooster still holds on as Mark goes into the gravel slightly on exit, but Mark's got a 5/10 penalty there, with the likes of Finley and of course Chris would be 8th and 9th. Brian in 10th, Brian with Neil in 11th. Neil's catching him up with great speed at the moment, but Noah's under pressure from Darren then. Darren's going obviously on the attack. He's going to try and get the attack in towards Ascari. Well, let's see if he does. It could be very interesting to see exactly what happens. Darren's got the fastest lap of the race at the moment with 2:01.1 at the moment, trying to go power his way out of Ascari, trying to catch up to that Aqua machine of Noah at the moment, with Jamie 3rd with the Rooster and of course the Ranger. The Ranger's catching him a great speed of knots. It could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen, but you know, who knows exactly what's going to happen. But you know, the Rooster still holding on for dear life. He's literally trying to hold off the Ranger going into Parabolica for the 2nd time. It could be very close. The race lead is also getting very close, with Noah having to defend like mad from Darren, because Darren's on that mission trying to literally go night and day between himself and Noah. Noah's going to try and defend, but he can't, because Darren's on that inside line for the Rettifilio. He's going to try and do it there. Oh, there's almost a bit of contact between the pair of them going out of Rettifilio, but nicely done as Darren gets the race lead then. But it looks like there's been a change for 4th place, as Dean Atkinson takes 2 cars to 1. He takes both the Ranger and the Rooster, with Mark Littlejohn now catching them up slightly. Chris is up into, of course, 8th. Finley in 9th, with Brian Moncani and of course Neil Smell still 10th and 11th. But what's happening for the race lead between Darren and Noah? They're almost going nose to tail, or literally still out of Rodriguez chicane. That's allowing Jamie to catch up. Jamie could easily be a dark horse, but there's also 3 cars potentially even bunching up. There's potentially the Ranger and of course Dean Atkinson and of course the Rooster thereabouts. It could be very quick, as Mark's also joining in this battle, going out of Lesmo 2 there. You know, it could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. It's almost 4 cars wide down the back straight towards the Ascari. This could end in tears if they're not very careful, with the likes of the Ranger leading, with Mark trying to get on the inside into Ascari. He's got to be very careful, because Andrew Ostler's right behind him, but he's picked up a 1 second penalty there, which is going to hamper him even more now, which has cost him a bit of ground now. Championship leader struggling in this opening race here at Monza. We're going on to lap number 4 very shortly, but I'll tell you what, Jamie's got into 2nd. He's got past Noah for that 2nd place for the time being. He's now going to have to try and catch up to Darren. Maybe the jump start has probably given him a bit of boost, but it kind of slowed him down at the start. But you can just see the Ranger versus Dean Atkinson as well. Dean's trying to get alongside the Ranger for that 4th place at the moment, going towards the Rettifilio. Is he going to be able to do it? You never know. Could be very close, as Dean gets there just about. Gets in front of the Ranger with, of course, the Rooster thereabouts, but it's going to be very close between the pair of them, as Noah's trying to still catch up to Jamie. We'll see exactly how that's going to pan out. We'll go to this battle very quickly, because I think the one for 4th, 5th and 6th is going to happen very quickly. Noah's got his hazard lights on for some bizarre reason. He's probably just flicked it as by accident, but it seems he's trying to get past Jamie for that 2nd place. He's still trying to get past into Lesmo 1, which he does. But Jamie's going to fight back and think, right, go into Lesmo 2, let's try and see that. I think Noah's just flipped the hazards on by mistake. He's now turned, he's still got them on though, but not too sure why, but like I say, he might have flicked the button by mistake, as Dean Atkinson holds on for dear life from the Ranger at the moment, with of course the Rooster. Mark Littlejohn now back to 7th, but we'll see what's happening between as Jamie drops back down to 3rd then, because Noah's still got theirs. Jamie's now back into 3rd, but Jamie's not giving up as of yet. And got Dean Atkinson literally powering his way away from the Ranger, but he's got to be very careful because the Ranger's been very quick. The Ranger's been very feisty. The nerves got the better of him at South Edna in race number 3. He was leading the race as well, and the Ranger unfortunately had a bit of a bag of nerves and it got the better of him. And unfortunately he didn't win race 3, but you know, he's going to be trying to be on a mission this evening here at Monza. It could be very interesting to see what's going to happen with the Rooster still 6th, Mark Littlejohn 7th, Finley back in 8th, Chris Rigby and of course 9th, Brian Moncani 10th, Neil Smell 11th for the moment as it stands, but side by side between Noah and Jamie going up towards Curva Grande. Could be very interesting between the pair of them, the Red Bull car versus the Aqua machine. It could be thereabouts, but Noah's still got them hazard lights on at the moment. I don't know whether it's a deterrent for Jamie at the moment, but Jamie's trying to make that advantage. He's on to obviously a very good score at the moment. He's going to have to try and push on, but looking exactly what's going to happen between Jamie and Noah. We'll try and go back to of course Dean and the Ranger in a moment or two, because they're getting a bit closer as well. But going into Lesmo 2 then, Jamie holds on, almost goes into the sand out of exit, but he's going to push on going up towards the Scari. It could be very careful. We can see exactly how close it's going to get as Noah tries to fight back. He's trying to fight back onto Jamie going into a Scari. Is he going to do it? Yes, he does. Oh, what a stellar move from Noah to try and catch up. He's going to have to now try and catch up to Darren. I think Jamie's going to be on a mission out of a Scari. But looking at the battle for 4th and 5th rather, between the Ranger and of course Dean Atkinson. Dean Atkinson has his mirrors full of that blue car at the moment. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen between the Quick Fit car and of course the Eldar Sim Racing backed Subaru WRX there. It's going to be close for comfort, but you can soon find out as we go into the penultimate lap. It doesn't seem like lap 1 had already started, but it has. But it's going to be there as Mark Littlejohn up into of course 6th place at the moment. Seems to be like that for the time being as the Rooster tries to go on that offensive attack into Vetafilio. He's got the move done, so Mark has to drop down to 7th. I'll tell you what, there's been some very close battles between these guys at the moment, but just looking what's going on is Jamie going to catch Noah for that 2nd place, but in the meantime give him a bit of airtime. He's obviously Darren's on a mission. Darren said he was going to be saying he's going to come last. I think he was doing that to literally wind me up before the racing even started. But he's leading the race then. I think it helps with the likes of Jamie and of course Mark jumping the start then. But Jamie gets alongside Noah into Lesmo 1 and gets the move done before he jumps into Lesmo 2. And I'll tell you what, could be very close between these two cars before they even get to a Scari. I think just looking at the back, we've got the likes of the next group between Dean Atkinson and of course the Rangers. Noah tries to get alongside Jamie, but Jamie's closing the door into a Scari, so it's going to be very close. But you can just see exactly how close Dean Atkinson wants to get away from the Ranger at the moment. I think you know, Jamie's still there, but the battle for 3rd and 2nd between Noah and of course Jamie at the moment. Jamie's literally trying to push on for dear life. He's trying to say to Noah, let's go, let's have a clean battle. I'll tell you what, into Parabolica for the penultimate time. This is allowing Darren's race lead to get even bigger and bigger, but you know, Jamie's going to be thereabouts. It could be all or nothing between these two. going on to the final lap with the likes of Jamie and of course Noah literally fighting night and day at the moment. This is absolutely unreal with Jamie trying to push on. He's trying to hold on for dear life into Retafilio with Dean Atkinson currently under threat as Noah and Jamie have a bit of a tap, but the Rangers got fourth from Dean Atkinson then. This time round we knew that was going to happen, but perfectly executed. Could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen between Jamie and of course Noah. Noah's still with them hazard lights on at the moment. Ranger 4th, then Dean Atkinson 5th, the Rooster 6th, Mark Littlejohn 7th, Finley 8th, Chris Rigby 9th, Brian Moncani, and of course 10th, Neil Smell at the moment 11th, with Darren still leading the race then into Lesmo 1. Well, I tell you what, the more Jamie holds up Noah, it will back him up into of course the Ranger and of course Dean Atkinson. But I tell you what, it's looking very feisty for second, third, fourth and third, fourth, fifth. Potentially could be easy, but Darren may be laughing just watching them guys in his rear view mirror get smaller and smaller. It's going to be very interesting because Darren's probably thinking, right, race 1 win is going to be mine. We'll just give him a bit of an airtime there, but you know, Jamie's still pushing on, trying to hold off for dear life. He's going to try and get thereabouts, but Dean Atkinson is on the attack to get past the Ranger before he goes to Parabolica. But we'll try and join that battle in a minute, because the battle is still raging on for second and third as Noah goes a bit wide out of Parabolica. That's allowed Jamie to get back in second, but Darren will take race number 1 then here at Monza as Jamie takes second. I'll tell you what's still a battle between them two. Jamie will be absolutely delighted with that, with the Ranger 4th, Dean Atkinson 5th, the Rooster 6th, with Mark Littlejohn championship leader 7th, with the likes of Finley 8th, with Brian Moncani now 9th, and caught up to Chris Rigby and overtook Chris to take 9th, Chris in 10th, with the likes of Neil Smale in of course 11th. But I tell you what a stellar battle. It would seemed to be a lot of interest to push on for quite some of these guys, and who knows exactly what would happen. I think Jamie was a bit apprehensive at the start, but we'll soon find out exactly what's going to happen in race number 2 in a bit. But I'll tell you this, it is going to be absolutely unreal for race number 2. I'll just get the replay and I will get the race results, because it's going to be very close to see what is going to happen. Let's just bear with 1 second. So then Darren takes a well-deserved victory, his second victory of the season, and I tell you what, he will be delighted with that. He will be over the moon to have that gap grow and grow. He got a lightning start after the two ahead of him. I think they jumped the start because they were very slow to get away. Jamie in second, Noah in third. That battle for second and third was quite interesting. Between also the battle for fourth and fifth between the Ranger and Dean Atkinson in the closing moments of the race. Then you got the Rooster in sixth, Mark Littlejohn championship leader 7th. Could be a bit of a bogey track for him to see what he's going to do, but he's 7th for the moment. Finley in of course 8th, Brian Moncani 9th, Chris Rigby 10th, Neil Smale 11th. Fastest lap though, however, Mark got the fastest lap, so he gets a point for that. And so Mark goes a 157.189 on lap number 5, was not beatable. But yes, it is going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. And yes, Ishmael, you are right, mate. You are right. Darren wins after. Now I'm going to come last. Yes. Indeed, he literally said to me that he was going to go. That he was going to come last, but he wins the race. So I think he was doing that to wind us up. You know what he's like. He likes to wind people up. But yeah. Mind Games 101. Definitely mind games. Definitely mind games for the stream. You know, definitely mind games for the commentator. But it sounds like Mark's foot slipped off the pedal and he jumped the start, but this shows, doesn't it, you know, how great the championship's going to spice up. You know, it's going to be a bit weird after, you know, now the second race is now a reverse grid, so Neil will start on pole, followed by Chris, followed by Brian. I'll just go through it. So you got Neil Smale on pole position, followed by Chris, then you got Brian, then you got Finley, then you got Mark, the Rooster, Dean, then you got the Ranger, Noah, Jamie, and of course Darren in 11. It is going to be very interesting. So obviously whatever tyres they started on or raced with in race number 1, they will have to get rid of now. And it is going to be another 7-lap encounter. And I'll tell you what, it has been great so far, so good. You know, I think it's going to be very close in race number 2. You know, I feel like, you know, if it was it was close in race number 1, you know, with the battles for 2nd and 3rd with 4th and 5th, you know, it's easily done. You know, I think when obviously, you know, what helped Darren get into the lead was obviously the likes of Jamie and of course Mark jumping the start. It's easily done because, you know, you're obviously lining up on the grid and you think, right, okay, I'm in a bit of a position here where I need to lead down into the Rettifilio, but as close as you like to see exactly what's going to happen. But, you know, with race 2 just around the corner, with it being a reverse grid now, it's going to be very close. You know, you've got the likes of Neil and of course Chris alongside each other. You've got Brian Moncani on row number 2. He's going to be wanting to try and push on. He wants to try and get a race win. He's not had much luck this season though, as Brian, which for me personally was a bit disappointing to see. You know, that sort of mid-pack sort of tail of the field scenario. I don't know whether he's suffering a bit or he's just whether he's not, the car's not suited to him at the moment, but it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But you know, it's so far it's been a bit, it's not been like as it has been last week at Southampton, where it was a bit rough and tumble and a bit fighting for sort of gaps that weren't going to be there. But it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But who knows exactly how close it's going to get. But I think race 2 is about to start, so buckle up guys, and if you're going to enjoy the stream, then you know it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to see what race 2 brings. You know, it's going to be great to see if Darren's going to be able to go from 11th to jump into the race lead. But he did very well to get that race 1 victory. It is his second one of the season as well, so he'll be happy with that now. Not too sure what that will do for the championship table though, but we'll find out obviously this time next week. But you know, my racking in my brain isn't as brilliant as I think it would be, but we will soon find out though guys. But you know, hopefully we're good to go, so let's go for race number 2. So we'll soon find out in around 1 second what's going to happen. So then what's going to happen? Is Neil Smale going to get a victory, or is he going to be a bit under pressure from the fast starting chasing back? I don't think he'll be swamped straight away, but he's going to have to try and push on quite a bit. Brian Moncani's still flashing the lights on the grid. Maybe he's got an issue with the Subaru, but we get the red light on the starting gantry just about to flick on. It is going to turn to green, but it looks like Brian Moncani has jumped the start, or he's had a bit of an issue, because you know he's back down in, of course, now potentially 10th place now, going towards Rettifilio, as Chris Rigby gets on that inside line to go thereabouts with the likes of Noah. Too hot on the brakes to to try and take fourth from Finley, but Chris Rigby and of course Mark Littlejohn for first and second now, quite literally thereabouts. They're almost glued together, clashing a bit of wing mirrors there, but the Adrian Flux versus the Zoo liveries WRX trying to push on between each other, with Mark trying to make amends from race number 1. Could be very interesting to see what they're going to do going into the Roger chicane. Just about hop, skipping and jumping them curbs. It's like a playground scrap just for first place. It's not too bad though, with the likes of Finley up into third, Neil Smell with a 5/10 penalty. He's not going to like that because he's had to concede third place to, of course, Finley, with the likes of the Rooster and of course Noah trying to push on. Neil's taking it into the wrong zone though. Got to be very careful that it doesn't cost him anymore. Darren's also had a penalty. It's a race 1 winner. Jamie's also had a penalty, with the likes of Neil as well, but you can just see Mark eking out that advantage from Chris now, trying to literally push away. Chris is going to try and push on though. You got Finley third, you got his dad Andrew right behind him now. This is going to be very close, father and son battle for the podium. It could be very close. You've got Noah also catching them up with the Ranger there, with Dean Atkinson with that 5/10 penalty. Quite a few penalties been dished out this time round though, but who knows exactly what's going to happen with the likes of Brian Moncani now back up into 8th, with the likes of the penalties that were dished out to of course Darren and Neil and of course Jamie, but could be all or nothing. We'll see exactly how close it's going to get, because you know Dean Atkinson's still holding on for dear life, trying to get away from of course Brian Moncani. It could be very close. What's happening for 4th and 5th at the moment with the Rooster? Under attack from Noah. Noah's really fighting from a charge in, of course, from where was he, 9th on the grid. He somehow managed to pick up a 1.5 second penalty. I don't know how he's managed to do that. So he's going to have to try and push on for quite some time to try and get rid of that. He will have to concede that place though to the Rooster, with Mark and of course Chris Rigby there cutting Roger chicane. You can see Noah trying to take that penalty into of course the braking zone. You can't really do that. Chris Rigby's also picked up a penalty, a 0.3 second penalty there, so 3 attempts there. He's also going to be under threat, so you know, could be father and son back onto the podium very soon. But it's going to be very close, with the likes of Brian Moncani, Dean Atkinson, Jamie and of course Darren battling for 7th, 8th and 9th and 10th, as Darren's on a mission there towards Ascari. See how quick it's getting, because it's going to be very close. But poor old Neil Smell down in 11th at the moment. He will start, if it stays as it is, he'll start race number 3 on pole positions. Mark Littlejohn leads the race then from Finley, followed by Chris Rigby and of course the Rooster. The Rooster trying to get third place from Chris Rigby. Bit of a distraction there as Adam Morgan joins the lobby, but could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen between the Ranger and of course Noah at the moment. But there's a battle for 3rd and 4th as Chris and of course the Rooster. Rooster's trying to get alongside, but he can't do it. He has to have the door closed. He's run a bit wide though into the rest of the video. But Brian Moncani is also there, but who has picked up the penalty this time round? Now he's picked up another 1.5 second penalty. Don't understand how he's managing to do that. Maybe he's cutting a bit fine into the better video, but he'll have to be very careful, because he's got the Ranger right behind him as the Rooster trying to catch up to of course Chris Rigby, as well as catching up to Finley. So it could be very interesting in the Osler camp, the team garage. They're going to be probably on the pit radio saying, you know, come on mate, speed up, because your dad's going to catch you up in a minute, because he's in 4th place, but he's going to be there. But you know, Mark's leading the race then 4.1 seconds from Finley at the moment, but seems to be a lot of close battles. I believe Dan's got into 8th place from Dean Atkinson, of course, Brian Moncani with that 8/10 second penalty. He's getting rid of it. Neil Smell in 11th for the moment. Poor old Neil. He's not having the best of nights at the moment, it seems. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen with the likes of Finley trying to push away from, of course, Chris Rigby, as well as his Andrew trying to catch him. Andrew's trying to get onto the back of the Zoomobile. He's trying to get there. No more Angry Rooster on the side of his WRX though, but he's going to push on for the time being. It could be very close between Chris and, of course, the Rooster. What's going to happen? Is the Rooster going to be able to get past? I think he may do that. This time round, Noah's also side by side with the Ranger. Also, Jamie's there. Could be 3 cars wide into Retivilio. Oh, it's 3 cars wide. It's going into braking zone at Retivilio. Who's going to come out on top? Oh, Jamie just about does it. But Noah's also there. Oh dear. We knew that was going to happen. Tight on entry, tight on exit. A bit of contact between Noah and, of course, the Ranger, trying to battle for that essentially 4th, 5th, 6th, and I believe it was 5th, 6th and 7th, I think it was. But you know, Dean Atkinson now into 7th, then Ranger down in 8th, and Noah 10th, Noah 9th rather. Brian Moncani in 10th with Neil Smell still 11th. Mark Littlejohn with a 10th penalty. Penalties are getting a bit hammered at the moment with quite a few drivers clipping the curbs and a bit of track limits. There been a bit of abuse with like Sir Jamie going rallycrossing onto the dirt, almost took Darren out there, but it'll be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But who knows how close it's going to be. But you saw exactly how close it was going into the Retivilio. But it seems that the Rooster's still trying to catch up to Chris Rigby. Looks like 4 out of 7 at the moment. Seems to be battles galore at the moment. Darren's up into 5th then, trying to push on. I think he's trying to literally say the guys in front, I don't know whether he's going to have time to catch up to Mark, because they've got 2 laps to go. It could be all or nothing, but Finley's still holding on for 2nd. Chris Rigby still in 3rd at the moment with, of course, the Rooster in 4th place at the moment. Darren's still 5th with Jamie 6th. Dean Atkinson still there in 7th. The Ranger and, of course, Noah both had a bit of a coming together. It wasn't, I don't think it's too much, but you know, going up into Retivilio, the corners are going now. Got to be very careful. I think Noah was a bit hot on the brakes, but he's going to have to be very careful. There's a yellow flag. I think Chris Rigby and, of course, the Rooster came together. I'm not too sure, because Chris has now dropped down to 6th. That was a bit unfortunate. Not too sure exactly what had happened, but that's allowed Darren up into 4th with Jamie close behind. It's going to be very close because the Ranger's almost with Noah. Noah's trying to get past the Ranger for 8th place at the moment. On to lap 5 then. We go in towards the Rodriguez chicane. The Ranger brakes, hop, skipping and jumping them curbs. The Ranger gets alongside, gets into that dirt, brings the dirt back on, brings the sand onto the track. So that's allowed Noah into 8th then. Seems a lot of battles galore now. The pack is closing. I think from 4th down, well, from 2nd down, he's kind of backing everyone up as Mark leads the race then, 5.0 of a second from, of course, Finley and, of course, the Rooster. So father and son on the podium at the moment. This could be quite an interesting as Andrew tries to make a move on his son into a scar. He thinks about it, but then has to try and back out, otherwise there might be a bit of argumentative talks with that. But Darren's still there with Jamie battling away. Chris Rigby trying to catch up as well, with Dean Atkinson also there. Noah trying to do exactly the same. The Ranger in 9th with Brian in 10th. And of course Neil Smell, poor old Neil, in 11th at the moment. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. It could be very careful as Mark still leads the race. And Jamie's got the fastest lap at the moment with a 1:57.053. On to penultimate lap we go. This is going to be chaotic because the Rooster's going to try and make a move onto his son. Could be very close between the pair of them. The Rooster breaks a bit late. It's getting a bit feisty. Darren gets a bit hot-headed into Rettifilio, but the Rooster gets second place then. Very interesting to see exactly how that's going to turn out. Father and son interchanging rivalry, but Darren's got a massive train of cars behind him with the likes of Jamie, Dean, Chris, and of course Noah. Could be very interesting to see exactly what happens. It's on to the penultimate lap as Chris Rigby tries to make a move, but Noah, I think he tried to take them all together, but he locked up a brake and then obviously it forced him back. It's forced him literally down to 10th place now. He's going to be livid with that, but the Rooster still holds on to second then, with Finley in, of course, third place at the moment. Darren still fourth, Jamie in fifth, with of course Dean in, of course, sixth, Chris in seventh, with the Ranger in, of course, eighth at the moment. Brian Mulcahy ninth, Noah now down to 10th. Don't know what he was thinking, but he's trying to get there, and Neil in 11th, but Mark's leading the race then from, of course, the Rooster. But it could be very close to see what's going to happen between these guys at the moment. This is absolutely crazy racing. Tell you what, Finley's under pressure from Darren, with Jamie and Dean and of course Chris trying to work their way out of Parabolica without taking each other too much, taking a bit of paint. It just seems a lot of battles galore. But it could be, you never know. But just looking exactly what's going to happen with Darren and of course Finley. Finley's trying to hold on for dear life as we're on to the last lap. Finley's trying to get back into third. He can't because Darren's got into third, so he's spoiling symmetry at the moment. But Darren's in an oscillator sandwich at the moment. He could be very careful between the likes of the Rooster. The Rooster's got to power his way. He's literally got to get away now because Darren is there. Darren's very feisty. As Finley tries to push back up, he's trying to get close to Darren as best as he can. Is he going to try and do it? Oh, it's getting a bit close as they hop, skip and jump them curbs as best as they can. But I'll tell you what, Darren's trying to fight for another day to try and take the Rooster for second place at the moment. This is going to be close as you like. Can't look what's going further back at the moment because I'm interested to see what's going on between these three. That's allowing Mark to get there, but Mark's going to get the race to win. You can see the battle behind between the likes of Jamie and of course the Ranger and of course Dean and of course Chris at the moment, but we'll try to see what's going to happen in a minute. But you can just see the Rooster holding on for dear life, trying to get away from Darren because Darren's on a mission. You know, he said he was going to come last in the races, but I think it's just his alter ego trying to say, nah mate, I'm winding you up. But I tell you what, it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. Is the Rooster going to be able to get second place, or is Darren going to get it? Darren's on that line. Oh, he's got second into Parabolica as Mark crosses the line and takes another victory of the season. I think that's his sixth one. As Darren comes second, the Rooster third. So good battle for second, third and fourth respectively. That was absolute class, with Jamie in fifth, then the Rangers sixth, Dean in seventh, Chris in of course eighth, Brian in of course ninth with Noah, 10th. Don't know what happened to Noah when he obviously tried to take the guys, and bless Neil in of course 11th. It's going to be a bit of a topsy-turvy 13 laps in the third and final race of the evening, so who knows exactly what's going to happen. But you know, a lot of things happen there, a lot of battles galore, but quite a lot of penalties almost dished out. But I'll tell you what, Mark takes another victory. Started towards the front row of the grid, but you know, we'll get the race results and we'll get the replay as well. But seems very exciting to see exactly what's going to happen. But I'll tell you what, the battle was crazy. So then Mark Littlejohn takes another victory. I think it's his sixth one of the season now, so he will be escaping, you know, with that 20 points there. He obviously led a lap, so you know he gets 21 points. Now Darren in second, the Rooster third. It could have almost been an Osler 2-3 on the podium, with the likes of Finley also running up as high as third, but nevertheless it's going to be a happy Osler household, because Andrew has got third place. Then you've got Finley in fourth, Jamie fifth, the Ranger in sixth, Dean Atkinson seventh, Chris Rigby in of course eighth, Brian Moncani ninth, Noah in of course 10th, Neil Smale 11th. Fastest lap went to Jamie on lap number 3 rather, with a 1:57.03, no 0:53 rather, and it wasn't beaten. But I tell you what a race. I'll tell you what, we are getting ready for the last race of the evening, and it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. There is a mandatory pit stop in this race. There is no obviously mandatory window, but it seems to be a lot of battles galore, and it's going to be very close to see what's going to happen. But we'll see how close it's going to get. But looking exactly how close it's going to be for the 13 lap race here at Monza, the final race of the evening. Who knows? Who knows exactly what's going to happen? It's going to get close as you like. But yeah, surprisingly I've not lost my voice yet. I think I may be this time round though. But you know, fair play to these guys that have so far relatively bit of touch and go in that race, but just seems that everyone's trying to push on. We know you're here for fun, Darren. We know, mate. You may come last. Well, mate, you've took the cat out the bag with a race win, and then obviously now a second place. So, you know, crazy. Might as well just let the cat out of the bag and just try and go for another win, mate. But yes, it's gonna be great to see exactly what's gonna happen in the third and final race. But it is a mandatory, so depending on who can survive the longest and then try and push on for a very close proximity third race, will be interesting. We're going to see if Adam Morgan's going to be joining. But we'll soon find out. Could be very interesting indeed. I do apologise about that, guys. I'm just laughing at something funny. But I think the Rooster is trying to wind up Adam Morgan. It's not British Touring Car Star, it's the Welsh namesake. Before anyone asks, but so it looks like Adam Morgan may be joining for race number 3, which will be very interesting. You come here for relaxation, and this is what you get. Funny enough, Ishmael, I agree. but you know, it could be worse. Try doing my job and being a commentator. I think Darren's going to want the grid. Just give me 1 second while I get him the picture. Oh. Because he may want the grid. Give me 1 second. Yes, mate, if you're watching the stream, I am here. I can... Do you want the grid? Because I can easily send you it, mate. No worries, mate. Okay. I am here. I was just I didn't know whether he wanted the let's see what's going to happen for the third and final race then. I think did we see that Adam Morgan was joining? Because I don't really know. I don't know if he's... I don't think he has. But be very interesting and see what's going to happen for race number 3, the third and final race of the evening. Yeah, at Monza it will be 6 races to go with 2 rounds left after tonight. Who is going to take the third and final race of the round number 4 here at Monza? Who's going to get a decent start? It looks like everyone hasn't managed to jump the start this time, but it looks like Noah and of course Neil Smell almost side by side onto the video. Could be very close to see how close it's going to get, but I think Brian Mulcahy also is going to be there. Looks like a lot of cars braking a bit cautiously now, but Neil Smell's got a bit of a swamp, but he's had a bit of a tap from Dean Atkinson, which has given him that bit of momentum to get back into third place then. But Brian Mulcahy up into second. He's now going to have to try and fight for his nemesis that he was fighting for in WSTC as Dean Atkinson goes rallycrossing into Curve Grande. It seems it's going to be a lot of issues with Noah. Well, Noah's not got issues, what am I about? Issues into Curve Grande, but it seems that Brian Mulcahy, then of course Noah and of course Neil Smell thereabouts, but Jamie and of course Chris Rigby side by side, Red Bull car versus the Yazoo. Then you've also got the Ranger, Finley, Mark Littlejohn, the Rooster, and of course Darren, and of course then Dean Atkinson in 11th place. But Noah currently on the mission here to try and push on. He's going to be thereabouts. What Neil Smell going to do is he's currently third, but they will have to take a pit stop. But could be very close because Jamie's there. There's going into a scar. He's trying to give Neil a bit of a hurry up and say, "Come on, mate, let's go." With the likes of Chris Rigby squirming out of the scarring, with the likes of the Ranger with Finley's 5/10 penalty. Maybe a bit dangerous there taking it on that line, but it's going to cost him a bit of ground now. With that, Jamie's gone into third with I think Neil Smell still trying to catch him up, but I think Chris is side by side with the Ranger. That's crossed the line then. Start back number 2 out of 13. As Neil Smell's dropping like flies at the moment. Well, he's not, because he's still fourth at the moment. He's got Jamie alongside, but the chrome blue car versus the Red Bull car has to concede. It's a lot of cars going argy-bargy into the Rettifilio for the second time. As Mark is up into 5th then, Chris in 6th, the Ranger 7th, the Rooster in 8th then, Darren's still there in 9th at the moment with Finley 10th. Dean Atkinson trying to catch these guys up. I think Dean may be the first to blink, but Noah still leads the race then from, of course, Brian, and then of course Jamie, and of course Neil Smale, with the likes of the Ranger and of course Chris Rigby still trying to push on. But it seems to be a lot of argy-bargy moments with kicking up the dirt with the Rooster, trying to catch up to the Ranger with Darren and of course Finley for 9th and 10th at the moment. It seems a lot of interest between the silver and of course pink machine, but you can just see Chris Rigby escaping or trying to get up towards Mark Littlejohn, who he's not, because Mark's trying to get alongside Neil Smale for the Scary. Seems about there, he's got there with the likes of the Ranger and of course the Rooster, 7th and 8th at the moment into a Scary. Swarm of angry bees yet again, but Finley's trying to catch up to Darren, literally trying to go thereabouts, but you know, still a long way to go in this race with likes of Neil and of course Chris Rigby trying to go side by side into Parabolica. It's almost there between the pair of them, but Chris gets into 5th then, with Neil now 6th, Rooster 7th, with the Ranger 8th, with Darren still there, and of course 9th at the moment. Seems a lot of interest to see exactly what's going to go on, because they're on to lap 3 now out of 13, still a long way to go. Thundering down towards the Retro Neil Smale currently under attack from Chris Rigby, trying to get back into his yellow flag there into the Retro. I'm not too sure exactly what the yellow flag was for. It didn't seem to stay out long, but you know, you've got Neil Smale down into, of course, down into 6th now, with of course Mark and Jamie for 3rd and 4th. Jamie's trying to hold off the 3rd place for Mark Littlejohn at the moment. Mark's trying to get there, Jamie's still there, hop, skipping and jumping them curbs. He's going to try and push on to try and get past Jamie. He's going to try and literally go into Lesmo 1 on that side. He does it with ease, but Jamie's going to try and fight back. It's quite close as you like between 3rd and 4th, and also 5th, 6th and 7th at the moment it seems. But you know, it's going to get closer and closer as time goes on, but you can just see exactly what's going to happen for these guys, with Jamie and of course Mark at the moment for 3rd and 4th still going on. Neil Smale still 6th at the moment, fair play to him, keeping up as best as he can. But as I say, still a long way to go, because they've got to make a pit stop, with of course Noah still in 1st place, Brian Moncani, and of course 2nd at the moment, with of course Mark Littlejohn in of course 3rd at the moment, Jamie 4th, Chris in of course 5th, with Neil in 6th. Neil's trying to catch up, trying to literally latch up to the back. You know, it could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen between these guys. It's got to be very careful, because Neil Smale is quite a quick racer at the moment. You know, he's catching up as Jamie's literally on the back of Mark going into the Retro chicane at the moment. Is he going to do the move, or is he going to just carry on and just follow Mark at nose to tail? But the Rooster's going to swamp Neil Smale at the moment, with the Ranger down in 8th. Finley's still there with Dean Atkinson 10th. Darren's down in 11th. Not too sure what's happened to Darren this time round. Looks very close, because Mark's trying to catch up to Brian Moncani as best as he can. It could be all or nothing, but we'll soon find out what's going on. With lots of Brian Moncani 2nd, Mark in 3rd, Jamie 4th at the moment, Chris in of course 5th with Neil 6th, with of course the Rooster 7th, the Ranger 8th, Finley in of course 9th, Dean in of course in 10th, and of course Darren in 11th at the moment. But Noah's still leading the race then onto lap 4. Already on lap 4. It seems a bit of a long way to go though. Who knows exactly what's going to happen, because they're almost trying to fight for a very interesting position at the moment, with Brian and of course Mark trying to now battle. Mark's got that gap from Jamie now, but he's trying to get alongside Brian into a Scary, which he does. I don't know whether Brian had a bit of a slowdown at the moment, but he's under threat from Jamie as well. That could easily be quite interesting to see exactly what's going to happen, because a lot of cars are now trying to go nose to tail. Maybe it could be the time where, you know, you could see someone diving into the pits. I'm not too sure exactly how well it's going to turn out, but looking at Brian Moncani at the moment with Mark Littlejohn there in second, Jamie in fourth at the moment. This could be very close. Chris Rigby there with, of course, Neil Smell still sixth place with the Rooster right behind him. On to lap number 5 out of 13. We can go. It could be either way at the moment, but seems a lot of battles galore at the moment with the likes of the Rooster trying to catch up to Neil Smell for that 6th place at the moment. It seems a lot of rates on the brakes with Neil Smell, and of course the Ranger, not too sure exactly what had happened, but Neil Smell somehow has had a tap. I don't know where he is. He's down in 11th at the moment. Don't think he's going to be happy with that. Bit of a tap in the rear from the Ranger, sent him sideways, but I think the Ranger's going to be slowing to allow Neil back. But Noah still leads the race then from, of course, Mark, and then of course Jamie, and of course Brian, and then of course Chris, and then of course the Rooster, and then of course Dean, then Finley, and of course Darren, and then of course the Ranger, and of course Neil Smell. Neil's going to try and catch him up now, but you can see exactly, I don't know exactly how that came about. I think a little tap and it just unsettled Neil's car, but Neil just tried to fight it, and I think it just spat him a bit round. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen between these two, but could be very close between the two blue cars. See exactly what's going to happen now, because you got Mark Littlejohn still in second. Noah still leads then from Jamie. Brian Moncani, he's on a mission to try and catch up into the podium. I think he may try and do the podium this time round. Still a long way to go, because we've still got a handful of laps to go, with the likes of Chris Rigby there in 5th place at the moment, the Rooster 6th, then with of course Dean Atkinson 7th, Finley in 8th, then with Darren, and of course Neil, and of course the Ranger for 10th and 11th. They're battling, but it could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. But at the moment then Jamie's under threat from Brian at the moment. This could be very interesting. Brian's trying to push on as much as he can, but it just seems like Noah's leading the race and eking out that advantage from Mark at the moment. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen, because Neil Smell is the first to go in pit lane now. I think he's decided, right, okay, I'll go into pit lane because my tyres are pretty much night and day at the moment. But you can just see Darren trying to push on with likes of Finley trying to get past Dean Atkinson on lap 6 out of 13. So, you know, still not even at half distance as of yet. Well, it seems like Dean's going to try and push on for the time being, with the likes of Rooster in 6th, and with Chris in 5th. Brian with that 9/10 penalty. He's going to have to be very careful. You know, he's going to have to get rid of that, but could be very interesting to see what the Belgian's going to do for the time being. But Jamie's still there in, of course, third place at the moment. Brian's obviously trying to get rid of that penalty as best as he can. Got to be very careful not to take it into the braking zone of the Ascari. With Noah still leading the race then. He's thereabouts, but see Mark Littlejohn trying to push on for potentially 2nd place at the moment. Could be another victory, but we'll soon find out. But Jamie's still there with, of course, Brian in 4th at the moment. Chris Rigby 5th. No, he's 5th, with the Rooster 6th, with Dean Atkinson still 7th. Finley 8th at the moment, trying to literally catch up to these guys, with Darren, and of course Ian, of course 9th at the moment. Could soon be up the order though, because the likes of Jamie and Mark, and of course now Dean, are into pit lane, so this could be very close as you like. I think Darren has also stayed out. Yes, he has. There's quite a few cars into pit lane. The Ranger stays out. There's quite a few cars now coming out to pit lane, but we'll soon find out exactly where they've rejoined. Jamie's rejoined in 9th place at the moment, Mark in 7th. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Mark's going to do. He literally finished 7th in race number 1, but then obviously got there for race number 2, but is in 7th for the moment with the Ranger behind Jamie, and of course 9th with Dean in 10th, and of course Neil Smell in 11th for the moment, but Noah still leads the race then, 9.5 seconds of a gap from, of course, Brian Moncani at the moment, with Brian Moncani and of course Chris, and of course the Rooster, and of course Finley, and of course Darren in, of course, 6th there, yet to pit. So the ones that are basically 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 6th have yet to pit. So it'll be very interesting to see when they pit, because we're on to lap number 7 out of 13. But Noah's still pushing on. I don't know whether Noah's going to be thereabouts. It says Noah's pitted, but I think the graphics are literally wrong on the right hand side, but who knows exactly how that's going to come to place. I think he's literally just going to push on now. He's going to still lead the race then with Brian Moncani still in 2nd at the moment, with Chris and of course the Rooster 3rd and 4th at the moment, as I think Chris is next to go and pit. Yes, he is. He's next, so the Rooster 3rd with Finley, and of course Finley also in pit lane, so Darren into 4th then, with Mark now in 5th. There's a blue flag. There's Jamie's there in 6th. He's 6th. It's just the time screen won't let me flick to him, with of course Dean Atkinson, and of course now potentially 7th with Rigby, and of course Finley in 8th and 9th respectively as they come out of pit lane. With the Ranger, I think the Ranger also has pitted. He's in 10th place with Neil Smell chasing after him, so it could be very interesting to see what Neil's going to do, because there was a bit of interest to see what's going to happen between Neil and of course the Ranger, but Noah still leads from Brian and the Rooster, and of course Darren. These 4 are the last to pit, the last of the pit stops, but you know, it could be very interesting to see what Mark does. Mark's in 5th, Jamie 6th, with Dean in of course 7th, with Chris in 8th then, with Finley 9th, the Ranger in 10th, with the likes of Neil Smell in 11th. Neil's actually had a bit of a nightmare tonight, but hopefully he will pick up the pace and he will be fighting at Dragon Trails Gardens this time next week. But Noah keeps eking out that gap. It's 13.3 of a second between him and Brian Moncani. What's he going to do? His tyres looking pretty worn at the front, but he goes into pit lane then. Is he going to time it to perfection before Brian Moncani gets round Parabolica, or is Brian going to jump into pits? We'll find out. Could be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But yeah, Brian jumps into pit lane, the Rooster jumps into pit lane, and Darren stays out. But this is quite interesting because Noah's been dropped off the jacks and he retakes the race lead. But Darren takes the race lead because Noah can't escape the pit lane. You know, that is absolutely insane. It was almost a drag race between Darren and of course Noah. Darren's got to pit on lap 9 out of 13, so we're around about 4 laps to go in this race. Well, I think Noah's going to push on with the likes of Mark in 3rd, Jamie 4th at the moment, Dean in 5th, Brian in of course 6th now with the likes of the Rooster 7th, Chris Rigby and Finley. Finley gets a bit crossed up out to Rettofilio, with of course Chris in of course 8th at the moment, with the Ranger 10th, Neil Smell 11th, with the likes of Noah and of course Darren. Darren's had to concede obviously now first place to Noah. I think the way things are going, Darren's going to try and push on. He probably will try and push on and get another quite higher point strategy, but he is the last to pit of the runners, but he's going to try and push on to try and get past Noah for that race lead yet again. But you know, could be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen, because you know, Noah is there, he's leading the race. Then Mark's going to try and catch up to of course the the leading pack, but depending on how quickly Darren gets his pit stop done and gets off the jacks, you know, he's thereabouts, but he's got to be very careful because Noah's on a mission. But Darren pits this time round then, so that allows Noah to eke out more of an advantage between himself now and Mark. Onto lap 10 then, so 3 laps to go in this race. It could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. So Jamie up into 3rd then, with of course Dean Atkinson 4th, with Brian Mulcahy 5th, with the Rooster in 6th at the moment, Chris Rigby in 7th. Could be very close, but I think Darren, yes, Darren has jumped out of pit lane into 7th. Could be soon 8th and 9th, and could be soon 9th, because he can't get out of pit lane as of yet, as Chris gets a bit of a tap from Finley for going into the rest of video. So Darren's going to have to try and catch up. The Ranger still there in 10th, of course Neil Smell 11th, but closest battle we've got then, sort of a battle between Dean Atkinson and of course excuse me, and of course Brian at the moment, in of course 4th and 5th, but it's not close enough as Chris Rigby and of course Finley and of course Darren for 7th, 8th and 9th. They're almost nose to tail, but this could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen for these guys at the moment. It could be thereabouts, as close as you like, as Chris gets a bit loose into Lesmo 2, with of course Darren trying to catch them up as best as he can down the back straight up towards the Ascari. Could be very close between these three. Got to be very careful going into Ascari, but it seems that Chris is going to be on a mission, try to hold off Darren as well as Finley at the same time. But go through Ascari with no issues now, but you can just see how close Finley wants to get alongside the Yazoo WRX because he's trying to push on. Darren's also there lurking in the background, that pink machine, just praying if anything goes. There's been a change for 4th place as Brian Mulcahy's been overtaken by Dean Atkinson as the Rooster pushes on, but you can just see Chris Rigby and of course Finley and of course Darren almost there with around 2 to go. It's going to be very careful between these pair, but just looking exactly what's going to happen as Chris tries to get that line. He's taking Darren with him. Darren's trying to push on as best as he can. Ultra rest of Philly, we go for the 11th time. This is going to be all or nothing. Who's going to be the last to break? Looks like Chris has got the line, but Finley's also there, but Darren's also there too. So it's getting a bit closer for comfort between these guys at the moment. What's going on for the race leads? Mark Littlejohn still 4.8 seconds from Noah at the moment. Noah's taking that gap, trying to make it bigger and bigger, try to extend that race lead. Mark's in 2nd, Jamie 3rd, Dean in 4th with Brian 5th, the Rooster 6th with Chris and of course Finley and of course Darren 7th, 8th and 9th, with the Ranger in 10th with Neil Smell in 11th at the moment. Don't think Neil's had a really good night of racing. I think he's really struggled, but hopefully he'll come back stronger at Track and Trails Gardens next week. But looking what Darren's trying to do with around 2 laps to go, he's going to try and push on to try and get past the likes of Finley and of course Chris for that to try and get into 7th place as Finley tries to think about it into Ascari. He's going to try and get it. He's going to try and get past Chris Rigby if he can, but who knows exactly what's going to happen between the pair of them, with the likes of Darren trying to push on. But with 1 lap to go after this, it could be the obviously going on to the penultimate lap, but you know, who knows exactly how close it's going to get, because 7th, 8th and 9th are battling away. Trying to see what's happening with the race lead. It's 4.9. As you can see, Noah just going out of Vatifilia, with Jamie still there in of course 3rd, Dean in 4th, then Brian currently 5th, the Rooster in of course 6th, Chris Rigby. It's almost 3 cars, I think it was almost 3 cars wide when it flashed past us with Chris and of course Finley trying to push on. Darren's had a bit of a knock, but seems he's going to have to push on with Chris Rigby thereabouts in 7th place at the moment, with the likes of Finley in 8th, with of course Darren in 9th at the moment. He's going to have to try and push on with the Ranger in 10th and Neil, poor old Neil, in of course 11th at the moment. But Noah with the fastest lap down on the lap number 11 with 156.2. Mark's trying to push on, but Mark's picked up a 9/10 penalty. That's not what he wants. But the likes of Chris and of course Finley, they're still battling. Darren's dropped back a bit from the battle, but he's closing. So if something happens between Chris and of course Finley, it may allow Darren to catch back up. But who knows exactly how close it's going to get for comfort, because these three are almost nose to tail yet again up towards the Ascari. But Chris is going to try and battle his way past of course Finley for the time being. It could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. But Chris and of course Finley side by side into Ascari. Finley gets the move done very nicely, but Chris thinks about it. Darren's going to catch them up though, going up towards Parabolica for the penultimate time. Must be about to start the final lap as Noah gets still there, still leading, with Mark 2nd, Jamie 3rd, and Dean in 4th at the moment it seemed, with Brian 5th with the Rooster, and of course but it's almost 3 cars wide across the start finish line for 7th, 8th and 9th. It's got to be very careful because they're going all towards Rettenfilio. But I'll tell you what, this could be very close, as likes of Finley, Darren and of course Chris into Rettenfilio could be 3 cars wide. Finley's got it, but it looks like, you know, they're trying to do exactly what they did, but that didn't work between the likes of whether it was between the Ranger and Neil, but it did work because Darren's got into 7th. He's under threat from Finley at the moment. This could be very careful to see exactly how close it's going to get. But Finley's on the attack to try and get past Darren for that 7th place at the moment. I'll tell you what, Noah still leads. Look at that fuel tank. He's run that fuel right down to the brim. I'll tell you what, he's going to take a very interesting race win, but Mark's still there. But what's going on for 7th, 8th and 9th, basically now sorted themselves out as the Ranger catches them up slightly to see how close it's getting. I think most of them now are running, the fuel's just slightly now running as Noah comes through the Parabolica for the final time to take the 3rd and final race of the evening. Flashes the lights with the light. He will be happy with that. He'll push on for a very good night of racing for him, with Mark in 2nd. I think Mark will be a bit thereabouts, with Jamie in 3rd, Dean of course in 4th. A bit of a topsy-turvy night for him, but Brian Moncani in 5th place then, with the Rooster in 6th, with Darren holding on for the time being for 7th at the moment it seems. But he's going to try and push on for 7th. Yes he is. He's going to cross the line and take 7th place from of course the likes of Finley and of course Chris Rigby in 10th place, with the Ranger in of course 9th. He took 9th from Chris after the line, with Neil Smale in 11th. Poor old Neil. What's he got to do to get some luck in this championship? But he will fight another day and he will race at Dragon Trails next week. I'll tell you what, it seemed to be very close and a bit personal at some points in that race. But I'll tell you what, Noah, see how battle scarred and a bit bugs are splattered up that side of the WRX, but fair play. He takes the fastest lap as well as the race win. But we'll just get the race results and of course the replays. Excuse me. I feel like my voice is now disappearing. My voice is now disappearing, as you can tell. But Noah takes the race win, then followed by Mark, followed by Jamie, and then of course Dean Atkinson, and then of course Brian Moncani, the Rooster, in 6th, Darren in 7th, Finley 8th, the Ranger in 9th, Chris in 10th, And of course, Neil Smale in 11th. Fastest lap went to Noah on lap number 11 with a 156.2. And I'll tell you what, it is going to be great. I can't wait to see exactly what is going to happen at Dragon Trails Gardens this time next week, with around 6 races to go and 2 rounds left. I am going to go before my voice decides to literally give up the ghost. But I will catch you guys this time next week, where the championship is going to hot up even more. And until then, guys, I've been Hoppers for Eldar Racing. Have a good weekend. I can't wait to see what's going to happen this time next week at Dragon Trails. Until then, take care. Ta-ra.